Finance teams burn hours every week just to answer one question: do we have enough cash? Data arrives from everywhere and never in the same format, so you spend more time cleaning than forecasting. In this video, I'll show you how to build a short-term 13-week cash flow forecast in minutes using Claude. By the end, you'll walk away with a reusable prompt, a clean input structure, and an Excel file with an effective cash flow forecast. Alright, let's get practical. We'll start by making a standardized input because consistent inputs equals predictable output. The goal is that every week or month you drop in new files and get the same cash flow layout back. Think of it as your personal cash engine. You'll see two types of data feeding this engine. First, historical open items, the receivables and payables that already exist and have specific due dates in the future. Second, new estimates, future inflows and outflows tied to new sales, purchases, regular monthly expenses, payroll, and any one-off costs. If we feed Claude both streams in a structured way, it can do the allocation and timing work for us. Here's how I set it up in practice. I export 5 standard files, Excel or CSV, from our accounting system. Accounts receivable aging per customer with due dates. Accounts payable aging list. Sales forecast by week or month from sales. Purchase forecast by week or month from procurement. Bank loans amortization schedule. Then I upload these into Claude. Once you've uploaded the files, you'll add a clear, detailed prompt. That's the key to getting a consistent forecast every time. You can download my full prompt from the link below this video. I'll break it down part by part. Before I start, keep in mind, the point here isn't just to build a cash flow. It's to learn how to write the prompt, what its key elements are, and how to make the AI model understand the logic, so we can apply the same approach to many other calculations later. We tell Claude exactly what we want. Build a 13-week cash flow forecast in Excel. Aggregate all inflows and outflows by week. Use due dates and payment terms to place cash in the correct week. Keep formulas active. That one statement is the guardrail. It locks the time horizon, defines weekly buckets, and avoids hard-coded numbers. The result is an Excel you can update without rebuilding. With the mission set, Claude needs to understand the raw ingredients. Continue your prompt by explaining the 5 files and how each drives the model. Account receivable aging with columns, customer name, amount, due date for current inflows. You should read due dates and maps them into the right weeks. Account payables aging with vendor name, amount, due date for current outflows. Same mapping by due date. Sales forecast with customer, related payment terms in days, period. Key point, cash doesn't arrive in the sales week. You should add payment terms to the week's end date and post the cash in that future week. Purchases forecast with vendor name. Payment terms in days, forecasted amount, shifted forward by terms the same way. Loans, which is typical loan amortization plan with payment date, amount for scheduled cash outflows. We set a 13-week calendar, week 1 to week 13. Week 1 ends on January 1st, 2026, and every week ends 7 days after the previous. Each week has a start and an end date. With time and inputs fixed, we describe the shape of the Excel output so the finance team can read it instantly. I told Claude to build a familiar 13-week worksheet that finance can read at a glance, so we have a description column on the left and then 13 weekly columns to the right. The first row carries the week labels and the second row shows the exact week ending dates, so every number is anchored in time. From there, I asked it to structure the statement exactly the way leadership expects to see it. Begin with beginning cash balance, then move into cash inflows. First, the money we're already owed, current receivables, then the money we expect from new business, new sales, and finally, a subtotal, total cash inflows. Next, flow into cash outflows. Existing obligations, current liabilities, planned spending, new purchases, and the regular month-end items, payroll and recurring OPEX, plus any one-offs on specific dates, non-recurring OPEX, and scheduled loan payments. ending with total cash outflows. After that, calculate net cash flow as inflows minus outflows and finish with ending cash balance, which rolls forward to the next week. I'm telling Claude to treat beginning cash as the opening balance for the first week and to have every following week automatically start with whatever the previous week ended. For cash inflows, I instruct it to read the receivables we've uploaded and place each item into the week that matches its due date. Then, for projected sales, I tell it to take each forecasted sale, add the payment terms to that week's ending date, and post the collection in the week where it actually lands. The model then totals these streams to produce total inflows. For cash outflows, I ask it to do the same due date grouping for open payables and to shift projected purchases forward by their payment terms so the cash leaves in the correct week. I also tell it to place payroll and recurring operating expenses only in the weeks that close a month, to allocate any non-recurring operating expense to the specific week that contains its date, and to map loan payments to the exact weeks indicated in the loan schedule. These lines are summed into total outflows. With inflows and outflows in place, the model calculates net cash flow and then computes ending cash. That is the prompt. Now, let's look at what we actually get. On the left, you'll see what Claude says it did. On the right, you'll see how it did it through this complex code that we, of course, don't need to know. Here is our key output, cash flow forecast in Excel. You'll see smart date logic. Payment terms are applied to week ending dates, then mapped to the right column. The 13-week structure starts with week 1 ending January 1st, 2026, and every week after that is spaced by 7 days. And the statement includes everything you need: beginning, ending cash, current receivables, new sales, current liabilities, new purchases, payroll, 24K month end, recurring OPEX, 14K month end, the non-recurring 5K on February 23rd, and all loan payments with live formulas. Now that I have this file, I can spend a few minutes formatting it the way I want. This would be the final version. I also drop in 2 quick charts: a line chart for ending cash by week, so the trend is obvious, and a stacked bar chart for inflows versus outflows per week, so timing mismatches jump out. If your Claude plan supports an agent mode, you can even ask it to add these charts and the conditional formatting for you. If not, it's a 1-minute manual job. Before we wrap, a few guardrails so your weekly run never surprises you. Keep column names identical each week. Make sure dates are actual date types, not text. So you standardize 5 inputs. You paste the prompt into free Claude, upload the files, and you receive a clean Excel with formulas that assign every inflow and outflow to the correct week. You give it a quick visual polish, and you're ready for the CFO review. If you're looking to push further and learn how you can utilize AI models for corporate finance, driver-based planning, and rolling forecasts, check out my video on the best AI tools for corporate finance and how to wire them into your workflow. Subscribe for more hands-on finance plus AI builds.